Iran unleashed a massive retaliatory missile barrage after Israeli fighter jets pounded targets in Tehran, dramatically escalating the already explosive war in the Middle East. Overnight on March 8th, Iranian forces launched a fresh wave of missiles toward Israel, lighting up the skies and triggering air raid sirens across multiple cities. Residents rushed to shelters as explosions echoed and air defenses scrambled to intercept the incoming projectiles. The strike came just hours after a major Israeli air assault involving dozens of fighter jets targeting military sites in Tehran, marking a dangerous new phase in the intensifying conflict. In a statement, the Israeli Defense Forces said it detected a new ballistic missile attack from Iran. According to Israeli authorities, this was Iran's 12th missile attack in under 24 hours. Soon, sirens began blaring in southern, central, as well as northern Israel. There was panic and chaos as millions of Israelis rushed to bomb shelters to save their lives. According to the IDF's initial assessment, the Iranian missile was intercepted. There were no reports of direct impacts or injuries in the attack. The IDF Homefront Command also allowed civilians in areas where sirens sounded to leave bomb shelters. However, this unverified online footage showed an Iranian missile impacting Haifa's refinery in northern Israel. The video showed a huge cloud of smoke coming out from the refinery. An intercepted Iranian ballistic missile landed in Tokarm in the West Bank. The missile looks huge. Fire and smoke were emanating. Meanwhile, Israel continues to pound the Iranian capital, Tehran, and other parts of the country. On March 8th, Israeli forces bombed oil storage facilities in Tehran. Israel struck 3 oil storage depots and refining facilities for the first time. The Israeli army said on X that several depots belonging to the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps were hit. On March 7th, the Israeli military struck Ahmedabad airport in Tehran. Israel alleges that the airport was used to help transport weapons to militant groups that Iran supports across the Middle East. An ambulance was also destroyed and engulfed in flames following an Israeli strike in the Iranian capital, according to Fars news agency affiliated with the IRGC. A video posted by Fars on X showed a vehicle on fire as a person in an emergency suit appeared to try to put out the flames. The ambulance was traveling through an alley in Tehran's eastern Tehran Pars district when the attack took place. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the U.S.-Israeli bombing campaign in Iran would continue unabated and that the moment of truth was nearing for Iranians to overthrow their government. U.S. President Donald Trump also told reporters that the war will continue for a while longer without providing a timeline.
Mr. President, did the United States bomb a girls' elementary school in southern Iran on the first day of the war and kill 175 people?
Based on what I've seen, that was done by Iran.
Is that true, Mr. Hegsen? It was Iran who did that?
We're certainly investigating.
Still investigating?
But the only side that targets civilians is Iran.
We think it was done by Iran.
Can you give us an idea
Because they're very inaccurate, as you know, with their munitions. They have no accuracy whatsoever. It was done by Iran.
Can you give us an idea of what unconditional surrender looks like to you? I mean, what do you want from Iran?
I said unconditional, not conditional. I said unconditional. It's where they cry uncle, or when they can't fight any longer, there's nobody around to cry uncle. That could happen too, because we've wiped out their leadership numerous times already. So it's if they surrender, or if there is nobody around to surrender, but they're rendered useless in terms of military.
Mr. President, can I ask you what Peter asked you a question yesterday? He said it wasn't the right time in that event, but he was asking whether you have indications of whether Russia is supporting Iran somehow in this.
No, I haven't had that. I have had no indication of that whatsoever. If they are, they're not doing a very good job, because Iran is not doing too well.
What about the Strait of Hormuz? There's no traffic really going through it.
Well, that's the ship's choices, but we have it cleaned out. We've wiped out their navy. The navy is now at the bottom of the sea, so that's the choice. This is an excursion. We figured oil prices would go up, which they will. They'll also come down. They'll come down very fast, and we will have gotten rid of a major cancer on the face of the earth. We will have taken out a cancer. You know, don't forget October 7th. Don't forget all of the things that have happened over the years, all caused by these people. So what we're doing is a great thing, not only for our country and not only for Israel, not only for the Middle East, but for the world.
Its sixth missile attack on Israel in just 9 hours, as the war between the two countries continues to intensify. According to medics, there are no reports of injuries following the latest ballistic missile strike. A small number of missiles were fired from Iran, setting off air raid sirens across the Jerusalem area and parts of southern Israel. Israeli authorities say there were no reports of direct impacts. The Israel Defense Forces Home Front Command later confirmed that civilians in areas where sirens sounded could leave their bomb shelters. Earlier, the Israeli military said it had detected the launch of ballistic missiles from Iran after a lull of approximately 5 hours. The IDF warned that sirens were expected to sound in central Israel in the coming minutes as the missiles approached. The attacks come amid continuing exchanges of fire as the conflict between Israel and Iran enters another phase of escalation. The Israeli Home Front Command has also addressed questions about the shorter early warning times issued during recent missile attacks. Officials say the shorter alerts are not due to a technical malfunction, but are instead related to a range of operational factors involved in detecting incoming missiles. According to the military, the detection of missile launches and barrages can vary depending on several conditions during flight and tracking. In a statement, the military said it is not always possible to provide a long preparation time between the initial notification and the sounding of sirens. During attacks on Friday evening, early warnings were issued between 1 and 3 minutes before the siren sounded. This was shorter than the usual preparation window of 4 to 8 minutes. In the attacks that followed during the early hours of Saturday, the gap between the early warning and the siren ranged from 3 to 7 minutes. The military said this falls within the typical average warning range. The Home Front Command stressed that sometimes alerts may come very close to the time when sirens are activated. The military also noted that in certain situations, sirens may be sounded without any advance notification at all. Officials say this depends entirely on operational conditions during missile detection and tracking. The Home Front Command explained that advance notifications are sent to mobile phones in relevant areas as early as possible. These alerts form part of Israel's public warning system, designed to inform civilians of incoming threats. According to the military, early alerts are issued based on the detection of missile launches from Iran and the stage of flight the projectile has reached. This means that in some cases, warnings may arrive only shortly before the sirens themselves. Some unverified reports have suggested that the shorter warnings might be linked to damage to U.S. radar systems in the region caused by Iranian strikes. However, the military says this explanation is highly unlikely. Officials say those radar systems were damaged days earlier and not during the latest overnight attacks. They also note that the overnight strikes still produced warning times that fall within normal ranges. Meanwhile, the Israeli military says it carried out a broad-scale wave of strikes overnight across the Iranian capital, Tehran, and other parts of central Iran. The attacks mark another escalation as the war moves into its second week. At the same time, Iran has continued firing missiles and drones across the region. On Saturday morning, Iran's president, Masoud Pezeshkian, said in a televised address that Iran would no longer attack neighboring countries. This announcement followed repeated Iranian rocket and drone strikes on Gulf states in recent days. However, shortly after the statement, Qatar and Bahrain reported air raid sirens warning of incoming fire. The alerts suggested that little had changed despite the announcement. The Iranian attacks have sparked widespread anger among Gulf states. Reports indicate that Iranian drones have struck areas in and around hotels, an airport, and other civilian infrastructure. President Pezeshkian apologized for the attacks, but he also stated that Iran would continue to strike any country from which Iran itself was attacked. Many Gulf nations host United States military bases. At the same time, Israeli strikes reportedly hit Mehrabad airport in Tehran overnight on Saturday. According to Iranian state media, the airport was among the sites struck. 2 residents of Tehran said the airport, which serves as a major domestic aviation hub, appeared to have suffered heavy damage. They reported seeing what looked like commercial aircraft burning on the tarmac. Just over a week into the fighting, the war involving the United States, Israel, and Iran has already caused widespread disruption across the region. Hundreds of people have been killed, most of them in Iran. The conflict has drawn in countries from Oman to Turkey. The war has disrupted international travel and shipping routes, while sending global oil and gas prices sharply higher. As the conflict continues, questions remain about the broader objectives of the United States in the war. President Donald Trump's strategy has remained unclear. According to reports, the administration has shifted between outlining specific military objectives and suggesting a broader effort aimed at removing the Iranian government. For now, missile launches, retaliatory strikes, and expanding regional involvement continue to drive the conflict forward. And with Iran launching repeated attacks and Israel carrying out new strikes, the war shows few signs of slowing down.